Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Old Times. You can probably see from the side there that I've actually got, from the heads-up display thing on the left-hand side, I've got some different machinery. And I have hardly got any money left, and yes, you can see I now have 60 cows. I only have 60 cows. I didn't get any more than that, because I've bought a whole load of other stuff. But before I get to that, the question that I'm asking you for this week: which tractor would you like me to buy? Would you like me to buy this Ford TW30, which is 193 horsepower, or would you like me to buy, this International 1255 with front linkage? They're both manufactured in 1979, so they're both just within our time frame window. We've already tried this one, but we haven't actually tried out the Ford yet, so we will be trying out the Ford. And that is going to be the next thing I do. The International is ploughing away, and I now have the Kirovets out here. I have bought the Kirovets, and I've got that one out here. He's ploughing away in this field just here. I've done this top headland, and he is just now doing this short land work. I've done the bottom headland as well. So he's going to carry on there, and I'm hoping he doesn't get wrapped up in that tree. Yeah, he's doing a grand job. And he's also got that 4-furrow plough. It's actually, I think, a bit narrower than the other one, but it's... I'm not quite sure. It doesn't seem to be it does seem to be ploughing properly. I'm not quite sure if it's narrower or not than the 3-furrow plough, but it's doing a good job. So I'm going to let that one carry on, and I'm going to get over to the shop because there's more things that I want to show you. Right, it's very misty this morning. We can't see a huge amount, but I have this trailer here, which is the milk and honey trailer. And that's bought. You'll see why in a minute. You'll probably already figured that one out. I've got the Renault 781. I've bought that tractor. This tractor here, I have hired this one so that we can see what it's like. I've got the twin wheels here. I have bought the BM Volvo. Did I hire or did I buy the pallet forks? I think I bought them because I want to get the pallet forks down here so that I can carry these twin wheels over to the tractor. And I have bought this mower. Now, I realise that this particular mower isn't pre-80s, but there was a trailed mower pre-80s. I think, yeah, it's the Agrimec Grasshopper, it was called. And it's actually very similar to this one. It did look very similar to this one. And this is the only one that I could find that I thought represented it closest. So this is the one that I've decided to go for. And we will just imagine that this is, in fact, that Agrimec that I would like to use. So I'm going to use the Ford to pull this one. Because we've got 60 cows, we need a load of grass. And that tiny little mower that we have got, I thought would just be too small to do anything with. But so I'm going to go into this one first. So let's just have a quick look inside the cab. Very basic, this one. We have a disembodied arm on this one, which is brilliant. So a nice little machine. Start this one up. There we go. He's a good all-round little tidy tractor, this one. I'm hoping he can pull this Bowser. It's not the biggest Bowser, so we don't need to... This is not going to be too much of a strain, I hope. Let's just go forward a little bit. There we go. Right. Fasten that one on. There we go, perfect. And now I will drag this one over here. Now this one can take water, milk and honey. Now we don't actually have any honey to move around at the moment. And in order to get honey, we're going to need wood or wood chips. So we're going to need something that will chip up wood, make wood chips. And the reason being is... Oh, that's terrible. I didn't actually notice that. This one is floating in the middle of the air. That's not good. So if we come over to here, depends which side. There we go. Right, wood, beekeeping, products, beehive. So I need raw materials. I need wood. I think you can bring plain logs. I'm not sure, but you can definitely bring wood chips over. So there's that one there. This one, for some reason, has a digital display to show the number of beehives, which I'm not overly impressed with a digital display, considering this is pre-80s. But overall, the mod's not too bad. So we got beehives. You need to bring water over to this one, and then that one will get you honey, so that you can get honey out of the tower with that Bowser there. And then we take them from those two we bring it over to here, and this one again has got a digital display, and this is slightly raised off the ground. I did try to get this on as level a spot as I could, but because this field is on a slight slope, it did mean that it ended up being floating. And that's the one little aspect of this mod that I wasn't so keen on when I was first looking at it. But this one needs honey, it needs cereals, and it needs milk. So we've got cereals. We can bring cereals over, and I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to feed the cereals into it. And then you've got the cereals pallet. The honey is empty on this one at the moment, so we bring the milk and we put the milk into that one. We bring the honey over here and load it into there, and then the cereals, I think you've got to tip it out of a trailer into there. So we'll use our Gaz 66 that we've got. So you'll have to forgive the fact that they're floating, but this was about the most level spot that I could find on this map. And then, of course, there is one other building that is 200,000 euros, and I wasn't going to get that because I wanted to get cows as well. So I need to get wood chips for this one to make it work properly. So for now, we'll bring this one up over here, and this one can just park right there. Okay, and while that one can just stay there, because we've got to get wood chips. So I've got to think of some way to get the wood chips, or logs. I could get the logs. I'm going to have to test it to see if we can drop logs there or not, and if we can drop logs, excellent, we'll use that and do it that way. But we have cows. Okay, that is the first thing. We have cows. We don't have any straw available because we're still doing ploughing and stuff like that, so we're going to need to which do I do as a priority? We'll worry about twin wheels and stuff at another point. We're soon going to have to get the sheep done, but first of all we're going to start this one up. So let me just start that and move it back towards the mower. There we go. Hitch this one on and hitch the PTO on. Doesn't actually have... Oh yeah, the PTO is in there. It's inside that bit. Right. I can turn it off now. Now then, I have seen other YouTubers using this mower, and something that they do that particularly upsets me. Now this tractor, he does seem to be pulling it quite nicely. He does have a tendency to slip a little bit when you're driving it around, but overall this tractor is pretty nice. It's reasonably well made, and we've got the correct sort of colouring on the inside. We don't have a gear stick here, which seems to be missing, but that's we can overlook that because not all cabs are perfectly laid out. So we've got this mower. He's quite a big mower, and this is what I wanted. I wanted a nice big mower. I wanted something that was going to cover the acres, and those old Agrimech ones, they did that. They were quite large machines. You could cover a lot of ground with them. And we've got a big meadow up here that I would like to mow with this one. So I'm going to drive this one up to that meadow so that we can get ready to start doing our mowing. I'm just driving along here. I'm looking for the best way to get into this meadow. I think we're going to have to go right up to the top end because I haven't seen anything yet. Unless I'm supposed to go in the bottom side. I'm hoping not, because eventually we're going to want to make silage up here. And I don't want to have to drive too far around to get in and out of that field. It's looking horribly like we might have to. Unless there's a... No. There's no way through up here. That is most unfortunate. I was hoping that we could just drive straight through up this top end. Because you got that, there's a huge big field there. Great big one right beside us there. And that was going to be our primary source of grass for the cows. I don't like the way that you sat so low in this thing. You should be sat a bit higher if you're in a tractor. This is a fraction too low for my comfort. So we'll do this bit out of cab. And looks like we're going to get in down here. There's a hedge just there. And there's a little road just there. So if we come in round this way. There we go. Right, well there's the field. Ah, here's the entrance. That's a long way round. I was hoping that, yeah, it would have been better if we could go up the other way. Never mind, that's okay. Now, machines should always be on the right-hand side of the tractor because the normal way that you get in and out of a tractor is on the left-hand side. And so before we start, what we've got to do is if you press the mouse button and hold it, we've got to turn it on. Press mouse button. Ah, wrong side. You need to swivel it so that it goes... You don't want to swivel it out that side. you need to swivel it so it goes out that side. Now, the one thing that I said that I did see some other YouTubers doing, and I've seen pictures of it as well, which does frustrate me because I know how these things are supposed to work, having actually used them myself. It's supposed to go out to the side. It's a side-mounted mower, and you would never, when you're driving along in a field, you never drive over the grass and then immediately mow it, because all you're doing is squashing it down, and it's not going to work very well. I think this is actually leaving it in a bit of a windrow as well, isn't it? I think this one comes complete with its own conditioner. That would be why it's doing that. Which, I don't know if the Agromech, the Agromech Grasshopper, I don't think that one came with its own conditioner. Not quite certain. But, so we're going to mow this field, and then we can go back over it with the forage wagon, and we can gather it all up so that we'll be able to give the cows a big pile of grass. And we're going to plant one of the fields with maize, and we'll turn that into maize silage so that we've got silage to feed the cows as well. I want to maximise milk production from them so that we can get plenty of milk going into our cereals bit down the bottom. So we'll be transporting our milk down there. I won't use that trailer. I'll reserve that trailer for moving the honey. I know we haven't got to move it very far. I did consider spreading those out a bit more, but then I decided no, I won't actually do that. What I'll do is I'll group them up so that we can move it around fairly quickly down there, because we're going to have to go a fair way to move the milk. So we've got to come all the way up to the top here, and I'll probably use the gas to move the milk, because I think that the gas tanker will take milk or water. So we'll be able to use that one, and we can actually use two, because we can stick one onto the lorry and then one onto the trailer that we've still got, which I think would work quite nicely. So this one's coming along well, and this is a big field. I did tell it was a big field. Huge field. So we could actually just put some of this in for the cattle. It does seem to be going fairly slow. We're only doing 9 miles an hour, and normally when you're mowing, you'd normally go a little bit faster than this. But the mower looks good. I like this mower. Quite pleased with it. It's out to the side quite nicely, quite tidily there. So now we'll sort of see how he does when we come out round here. And this is one of the tricky bits with a trailed mower, is swinging around the corners, because if it's a mounted one, it's a little bit easier than this. I think once we've gone round and done this, we will... I've got to job the sea where the grass is, to be honest. It's doing alright. Once we've done this, I think we'll go around with a rake and rake it up a bit. We'll have to see how much, how many rows the rake pushes in together. But I'm going to go and do a couple more rounds of this field, because otherwise it's just going to get really boring to watch. I'm on my third round now. This field is going to take a little while. I'm trying this a bit from in cab, and I've got to be honest, I really don't like the visibility here. I can't see a thing. Can't see anything in front of me. It's because you sat too low. If the seat itself was up a bit higher, it would be alright. Come round the corner there. Right, well, I managed that bit okay. But yeah, essentially you are just too low down. You can't see properly. So, for the most part, we are just going to have to be out of cab like this. And because the mower trails back quite a bit, it's a little bit difficult to see what you're doing, but it is doing alright. And I think this time I'm going to have to try and circle round. I think what we'll do first, though, is I'm going to have to turn like that, and I'm going to do the outside round, so I can gather up all of that grass that I've missed just on this outside cut. And then I'll start working on the inside. I'll do another couple of rounds, and then I can start working up and down on the land work on the inside. The International has finished ploughing the field that potatoes were in, and we've also finished ploughing the field that the maize was in. The Kirovets is still working away on the small field that one was in. I'm going to... the sugar beet field needs to be ploughed, and I think we've only got one more after that, to be honest. Oh, and the two little fields, the two tiny fields. They both got to be ploughed as well. I I am wondering if I could connect those two little fields together and form them into one field. It might be a little bit more convenient, actually. I will investigate that. That could be quite a profitable move for us to connect the two fields together. Right, that's the outside round done. I'm going to need another round on this field so that I've got... Okay, that mower did swing a little bit there, but it was alright. So, yeah, I would like... That might be worth doing, connecting those two fields together. It depends what the gap between the two is like. If there's shrubs and that there, obviously we're not going to be able to plough them in, and it's just going to look ridiculous. So we won't be able to do it if that's there. We'll have to go and investigate that one. But there's 3-4 fields left that need ploughing, and then we've got a load of cultivation to do and planting. We've got some grains, we've got some cereals, so we can use that for making the honey and stuff like that. You know, the box cereals that we're going to be selling. That's okay at the moment, but what are we going to need? We need wood, and I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if it's logs, so we will have to experiment with that and see what we can find out. I may have to get a wood chipper so that we can tip piles of wood chips there, because I know that it takes wood chips, but I don't know if it takes logs. I know it also takes sawn lumber from the lumber mill add-on pack, but I don't intend to use that one on this map. So we've got a few things that we've sort of got to puzzle through. The cows are going to need straw. We've got no straw available on the map at the moment, so we're going to have to get a load of bales. And I was considering upgrading the baler. Obviously we don't want a big baler or a round baler or anything ridiculous like that. What I would like, though, is a different type of small baler. And there was one that I was looking at, but it's how do I get the straw into the cattle? I'm pretty sure that you can... there is an older mixer wagon that we can use, and if you put just plain straw into the mixer wagon, that's how you can actually put it into the cattle, because you wouldn't have had a straw blower type thingy, and I don't think you can put small bales into those anyway. So we do have some options available. We'll have to have a play around and see what we can come up with. Now, I'm going to start now moving up and down on some land work, and so what I do is I drive along here, and then I strike out across the field in a reasonably straight line up through there. It's not very straight, but still it'll have to do. And then we sort of start going in a loop, working on these straight lines. What we'll do. I think that we may also try and look for another rake, but I don't think there's that many of them available in this game. We may just have to stick with the one that we've got, even though it does it's not terribly wide, and it might be... So we may just have to put up with that one. Our new combine that we're going to use is a wider cut on it, so we're not going to need to gather up all the straw for the combine anymore when we come to bale after that one. So it does mean that we're not going to be having to spend hours and hours doing raking anymore, which would be really good. And I also need to try and find another fertilizer spinner, because the one we've got, again, I feel is a little bit too small. It's too time consuming. We're having to constantly refill. So we'll have a hunt around for another fertilizer spinner as well. Or, ooh, I know. Rather than using a fertilizer spinner, we could use the sprayer that goes on the Gaz lorry. That actually looks pretty cool. I think we might try that one. So, yeah, we've got lots to do. What I'm going to do between now and next episode is I'm going to finish mowing this field. As that's pretty much all that I've done. I've bought all this new machinery, and we've come up here, and this is pretty much all we've done is drive around mowing this field. But once this one's done, and I will rake it up so that it's a little bit quicker when it comes to gathering it up, we can give the cows some grass, and then we should have a bit more that we can make a little bit of silage, and we can put that in for them as well. Or we could just go and give a bit to the sheep. I was wanting to buy more sheep, but we don't have enough money for it at the moment. So that's something else that we're going to have to do. But I'm actually running out of time now. Yeah, it's not been the most exciting of episodes. I was really psyched for showing you all of this new stuff, and all we've done is a little bit of mowing. Mainly I feel it's because this mower is a lot slower than I'd anticipated. I thought that you'd mow at around 12 miles an hour, and this one only mows at 8 to 9 miles an hour, which is not as speedy as I was hoping. So I apologise for that, but if you have enjoyed this episode in spite of the sedate pace that we've been travelling along at today, then please head down below and give me a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.